Well, EK, the Dodgers finish a strong homestand, taking another series. They beat the Nationals in the series finale. They win 7 out of 10 here at home.
Really a nice job to culminate the homestand. It didn't start off great. Soroka looked really good, but things kind of turned. Shohei had a nice first inning. Ben Kasparius did a nice job of taking down 5 innings, and then the offense came to light. Max Muncy, that at-bat he had to hit the grand slam, game-changing, obviously.
You think about how the game started. 0 for 14, 9 strikeouts. Mike Soroka has a no-hitter into the 5th inning, but the Dodgers finish 11 for the last 21. They put up 13 runs, and now they get a well-earned off day.
Well, and one of the things that we've watched over this homestand is the ability for the Dodgers to have 3, 5, 6 run innings. And they did it again this afternoon with those crooked numbers. And this offense, we say it ad nauseum, it is relentless. In so many different ways you can be beat. There's no let-up, and they showed it again this afternoon.
The Dodgers finish a grueling stretch against above 500 teams. They go 17-12, and that one now a part of their schedule on paper where they should feast. And they're off to a good start, taking 2 of 3 from the Nats. We'll see you in Colorado.
Okay, so first question, obviously, catching Ohtani, what was that like, and what did his stuff look like?
Looked good. Everything was obviously explosive. Velo was good. Throwing breaking balls, sweepers in the zone, allowed us to get ahead and put guys away.
What's it like to be the guy that's calling the pitches for him? What's the game planning going through and him going along with your game plan?
It's good. We were on the same page. He actually calls some of his own pitches. So, but essentially we were on the same page before the game, and to see him have success, obviously that's a good sign.
Dalton, to get on base 4 times, it feels like you're starting to get into some sort of normalcy with this new role. How much more comfortable do you feel at the plate with getting adjusted to playing behind Will?
Yeah, I think it was just the game of baseball. Came out, had a good day at the plate, and I don't think it was anything really different that I've done the last few times. Like you said, maybe I'm getting a little more comfortable in the role. But yeah, good results today, and allowed us to capitalize on top of some hits, walks, and Max having a big day, driving in some runs.
What's the biggest adjustment you've had to make, just like big league pitching and being up here and kind of seeing how guys throw you over the last month?
Yeah, it's understanding their attack plan, understanding what they're trying to do, and I had a pretty good understanding after my first 4 or 5 starts. And yeah, I made a couple adjustments, and like I said, feel good right now, and ride the wave and continue to play good baseball.
You talked about simplifying your swing a little bit. Like, what are some of the things that those adjustments that you kind of talked about? Like, what are some things that are different?
Yeah, it's just respecting all pitches, not just going up there and ambushing, not going up there and expecting everybody to be a 2-pitch guy. Guys are going to throw 3 or 4 pitches, and you're expected as a hitter to be able to handle all 4.
Tell us about the grand slam, Max. Off a lefty, it was a no-doubter. You got all of it.
Yeah, it was a good swing. I saw the guy last night, so I had a good idea of what he was throwing in there and how to approach it. And for me, it was just bases loaded, no outs, try to keep the ball off the ground, get something in the air, get at least 1 run in. Just trying to do a job. I got a good swing off and got the ball in a good spot.
Is it different, like having it that long, like right in the middle of that bat, especially when you come back? Everything is really coming with that bat.
Well, like I said, I'd faced him last night, so I kind of had an idea of what his stuff was. If I hadn't faced him before, it might have been a little bit tougher because then you're sitting there thinking about, what the pitches are like, what he might throw, what he might not throw. And, so for me, it was kind of just catch your breath. When he's ready, and let's get a swing off.
Have you experienced something like that in maybe like such a big at-bat of a game?
I know I've seen it. I don't know if I've been a part of it, but I've definitely seen it before. And, day games are always tough anywhere you play. The field dries out. It gets really hard. And, for the pitcher's mound, if the starter's creating a big hole, then it makes it especially for a lefty coming in, you're stepping in certain spots. It's always different. And so I've seen that happen a lot. I don't know if I've ever actually been a part of it, but I've seen it happen a lot.
Where would you just describe your confidence level right now offensively the last month? And is that one of those things that kind of like the more good results happen, the more confidence you get? It's kind of like a positively reinforcing cycle or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a snowball effect. Confidence is high right now. I feel really good in the box. I feel really good with my mechanics. I'm seeing the ball well, and every single day, just try to take it 1 pitch at a time. Trying to, not trying to do too much. just have good at bats. What is the situation calling for? And I've just been sticking to that.
Dave, what did you think about Ohtani today in that first inning?
I thought he was considerably better today as far as the stuff, the life to the fastball, the command of his pitches, and much better. So overall, really good outing.
What went into deciding that this is the best way to go, just an inning again in this slow build-up?
I think that it's just more of just trying to get the foundation of building blocks as he's, taking at bats, getting an inning here, an inning there, and then just gradually progress, erring on the side of caution. I don't know if, his next one, we're going to go an up-down potentially, or 2 innings, or just 1 inning. I'm not sure. And I think that going into today's game, we felt really comfortable with the 1 inning.
You keep it up to once a week?
What's that?
You're keeping it up to once a week?
Yeah. Right now it's kind of, and we're not beholden to one particular day, but I think that, he'll do his touch and feel or his side, and then we'll try to figure out what's the next, what's the next best time to pencil him in.
Is he pretty good with this, just sticking to the 1 inning, or do you have to pull the reins back? Does he want to throw 2 innings?
I think right now he's good with 1 inning, and all these conversations that we have with him, obviously. And so he's understanding kind of where he's at, where we're at, and appreciating the fact that, as time goes on, we'll get to a certain point, but there's no sense in rushing it right now.
It was just 6 games, but were his bats a little bit better today, just in terms of the swings that you're seeing?
They were. I thought, taking the walk in his 3rd or 4th at bat, I thought was good. And then obviously got a ball up a little bit with the triple, and then the homer, the ball was up. And, when he's going to the big part of the field, I think he's really, really good. And so today was good, and hopefully it quiets the noise a little bit with the days that he pitches.
You said there was no script for Ohtani before the game. Maybe if Mookie makes that catch and he's out of there in 10 innings, would you have sent him back out?
I think we were gonna remain at 1 inning regardless, but it did cross my mind.
What does it say about Max's focus that even after that prolonged delay in the middle of that, he was able to 2 pitches later and have that at bat?
Yeah, it was great. He's just, you look at the last 30 days, I think he's been our best hitter, and it's just consistently good at bats. He's hitting balls to right center field, to left center field, which really he hasn't done with kind of consistency since 21, I think. So he's in a good spot, and whether it's the delay or right-hander, left-hander, he's taking good at bats. Big hit.
I know you guys had optimism after the opening month he could turn things around, but could you have envisioned him going on this kind of heater this quickly after the way the season started?
Well, it's taken some time, and we just thought, and I know I saw some signs that he was kind of getting out of it. Certainly the glasses thing helped, but I also think that his swing is a lot shorter. He's taking better bats. We never wavered in our confidence, and we've shown that, and he's proven us all right.
With the top of the lineup this past week, kind of scuffling a little, how important has it been that pass?
Yeah, it's been, from Will to Max, it's been very helpful. Those guys are in it, and so hopefully, we get on the road, put on a gray jersey, and have an off day. They can get their rest and take advantage of Coors Field. But at the end of the day, we had a 10-game homestand and we won 7 of 10. So that's a big bonus, given the fact that those guys didn't kind of play their best baseball. It just speaks to how talented and how good we are, though.
At what point did you know that Kike was going in, and how much notice did he get?
Well, I knew he was going in. I didn't know he was going to come out of the pen. I just felt that he's a smart baseball player and understands that if we have a chance to save some bullets from Vesia, why not try? But it was just today, for me, it was just the walks, and you can't make it too close. And we saved some bullets, and Alex had to get 2 outs instead of 3, so that was a positive. But Kike understands his value of potentially saving an inning for our guys in the pen.
Going back to Shohei, do you know if the umpire could do the substance check before he pitches in the first inning to help maybe alleviate the time crunch when he's going to then lead off?
I'm sure there might be some talk with that. That's a good thought. I do know on the back end they give him more time as far as when he takes his at bat, though. But that's a good thought.
When you see Shohei, start, even though it's early in his build-up, and then have the game he did at the plate, is it like as close as you've seen to him as kind of complete two-way player?
Yeah, it is. I've seen bullpens and lives and simulated games or whatever, but to kind of watch it in real time, to go from the mound to the on-deck circle and then go to the batter's box, it's pretty remarkable. And he's just handling it, the right way, and he's just unflappable.
Dave, what did you think of? There wasn't a hit for a while. Shimoka had a no-hitter going, and then all of a sudden the explosion over 3 innings. Does this ever? I don't want to say surprise you, but what's your thought on that the difference there over the course of a couple innings?
I don't know. I wish I had the answer. Haesung broke up the no-hitter, which was great to give us a little bit of like, okay, we can get a hit off this guy today. And then it just kind of, the floodgates opened up, the walk, the hit by pitch. Then they go to a reliever that Muncy saw just yesterday. So and had a big hit. So it happened fast, and it is a tale of 2 games in the sense of the first 5 innings and the last 4 innings. So I'm just happy we ended up getting those runs.
Dave, Max's grand slam to the bottom of the 6th, they go to the lefty out of the pen right before that at bat. He hadn't homered off lefties all year. I think the split's not very good against lefties, but any thought to pinch hit him there, or you kind of think he was due?
No thought to pinch him. I thought he took a decent bat against him the other night, hit a ground ball, but saw a lot of pitches. This guy was pitching 4 out of 5. And so I think for me, the changeup is good. Maybe neutralize him with the changeup. But at the end of the day, I was going to bet on Max.
What made Soroka so effective today?
There was a fastball that played up. There was a slurve that was the front to back, slowed our left-handers down. The slider was good to right, and he had just enough velocity to get us off the barrel. A lot of punch outs, and obviously Davey went to the pen and it worked out. But we were getting to Soroka, and it was either going to be the lefty or him in the bases loaded situation. So it's one of those, you got to pick your poison. They went with the matchup, but it worked out for us.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Shohei, how did you feel out there today on the mound?
前回よりリラックスして全体的に、投げれたかなと思います。Yeah, overall I was able to relax much better compared to my last outing.
Why only 1 inning today?
1イニングだけの理由は、もともとそういう予定ではあったので、ある程度球数を今後、イニングも増やしていけたらいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。That was the original plan, and I'm looking forward to adding more innings and more pitches.
How did you feel at the plate? Did it bleed? Do you feel like you get a rhythm pitching and then coming into being a hitter and being able to deliver that way?
二刀流の日はいいリズムで打席に入れてますか？そうですね。最初2打席とも相手の投手も素晴らしかったですし、なかなか自分のアプローチの打席を送れなかったので、そこは少し反省点かなと思います。Just looking back at my at-bats, the first 2 at-bats, hats off to the pitcher, really pitched well, so I couldn't really have a good rhythm going into it.
Is there any part of it of getting used to doing both at the same time? I know it's what you've always done, but is there any sort of acclimation period just after a year and a half of not doing that, especially stuff like after the first inning, going out and then going to play afterwards?
1年間半まだ慣れるっていう意味では時間かかりそうですか？そうです。思ってたよりも早めに復帰はできているので、今日また投げて明日以降の反応を見ながら、さっき言いましたけど徐々にイニングも増やしていければ、元の状態以上に戻れるんじゃないかなという、そういう自信は出てきてるんじゃないかなと思うので、まだまだ直さないといけない点は多いですけども、一つ一つ改善したいなと思ってます。I've been able to come back to game action earlier than expected, So in that sense, I do feel like, I do have to work on some things, but at the same time, I do feel like there's some things, that I feel like I can perform better, even better than what I used to be able to perform at.
Is your intention still to get all the way stretched out to be able to make like full starts, and how long do you think that will take with this kind of progression you're on right now?
しっかり投球回数に投げれるような感じの、どのぐらい時間かかるんでしょうかねと、そういう予定ですが。そう、イニングに関しては、球数に関しては一気に増やすということはもちろんないのかなとは思うので、徐々に増やしていければいいんじゃないかなとは思うので、今の現段階で、まずクオリティを上げていくことと徐々に、増やしていくということが一番大事かなと思います。It's going to be a gradual process. I want to see improvements with the quality of the pitches that I'm throwing, and then also increasing the amount of pitches. So it's going to be gradual.
Last one, guys. Where did you feel like the most improvement was today, pitching-wise, with your stuff?
今日の改善ポイントは、一番改善したところはどこでしょうか。一番はやっぱり動き方が重要じゃないかなと思うので、その過程でやっぱりロケーションであったりとか、一つ一つの球のクオリティというのが決まってくると思うので、自分がどういうふうに動いているのかっていうのを前回から今日にかけて、約5日間ぐらいこうして話しながら改善を延長しました。It's the way my body moves when I pitch. It's something that I worked on with the pitching coaches, and I felt a lot better this time.
Thanks, Will.
How did you feel in that moment, and how do you feel like the guys approach that kind of situation?
It stinks, but we did what we did. We came back and we had good at bats. We put the ball in play. We hit the ball. We scored a bunch of runs. They had to come back and use a regular pitcher.
How do you guys turn the corner from here?
We just got to focus on tomorrow now. Today's over. Let's get ready to play tomorrow. I know, like I said, we got San Diego. They got 3 riders against us, so let's focus and go 1-0 tomorrow.
How hard is it to focus on tomorrow when you have a result like today?
Yeah, we just got to forget about it. We got to drop it. Right? We got to come back and play tomorrow. That's why we got a lot of baseball.
Maybe back in the first inning, what were your impressions of Shohei pitching today?
Yeah, Shohei's good. I mean, the ball was coming out. His sweeper was really good. He was very effective. So, but that's what he does. He competes.